Rose Garden is the scene of an unprecedented newsreel record as President Johnson briefs reporters before delivering his State of the Union message to Congress. Then come the last-minute revisions before the president leaves the White House to address the joint session. His talk was written mainly by Ted C. Sorensen, his special counsel, but it took 24 writers.
Mrs. Muller?
Yes.
Come in. Please have a seat.
Thought we might have had the wrong date when you didn't answer the door.
Oh, yes, well, just between us, I was listening to the radio.
You like music?
Not really. News reports. I used to listen to news reports because my husband was in the war in Italy. When I came to possession of this radio, I found myself doing it again. Though, no war, and the voices have changed.
You were married to him?
Yes, but then he was killed. Is your husband coming?
Couldn't get off work.
I see. Of course. It was a lot to ask.
How's Donald doing?
He's passing his subjects. He has average grades.
Oh, good. He was upset about getting taken off the altar boys.
Did he explain why?
Said he got caught drinking wine.
That is the reason.
Well, that seems fair, but he's a good boy, sister. He fell down there, but he's a good boy pretty much down the line. And he knows what an opportunity he has here. I think the whole thing was just a bit much for him.
What do you mean the whole thing?
He's the only colored here. He's the first in this school. That'd be a lot for a boy.
I suppose it is. But he has to do the work, of course.
He is doing it, though, right?
Yes, he's getting by. He's getting through. How is he at home?
His father beat the hell out of him for drinking that wine.
You shouldn't do that.
You don't tell my husband what to do. You just stand back. He didn't want Donald to come here.
Why not?
Thought he'd get in a lot of trouble with other boys, but that hasn't really seemed to happen as much as I can make out.
Good.
That priest, Father Flynn, been watching out for him.
Yes. Have you met Father Flynn?
Not exactly, no. I've seen him on the altar, but I haven't met him face to face. No, just, heard from Donald.
What does he say?
Father Flynn, he looks up to him. The man gives him his time, which is what the boy needs. He needs that.
Mrs. Muller, we may have a problem.
Well, I thought there must have been a reason for you asking me to come in. Principal's a big job. If you stop your day to talk to me, must be something. I just want to say, though, it's just till June.
Excuse me?
Whatever the problem is, Donald just has to make it here till June.
Right.
If Donald can graduate from here, he has a chance of getting into a good high school, and that would be an opportunity at college. He has the intelligence, and I think he wants it too.
I don't see anything in the way at this time of Donald graduating with his class.
Well, that's all I care about. Anything else is all right with me.
I doubt that.
Try me.
I'm concerned about the relationship between Father Flynn and your son.
You don't say. Concerned? What do you mean concerned?
That it may not be right.
Well, there's something wrong with everybody. Gotta be forgiving.
I'm concerned to be frank that Father Flynn may have made advances on your son.
May have made.
I can't be certain.
No evidence?
No.
So maybe there's nothing to it.
I think there's something to it.
Well, I'd prefer not to see it that way if you don't mind.
I understand this may be hard to hear. I think Father Flynn gave your son the altar wine.
Why would he do that?
Has Donald been acting strangely?
No.
Anything out of the ordinary?
He's been himself.
All right.
Look, sister, I don't want any trouble, and I feel like you're on the mark somehow.
I'm not sure you completely understand.
I think I understand the type of thing you're talking about, but I don't want to get into it.
What's that?
Not to be disagreeing, but if you're talking about something floating between this priest and my son, that ain't my son's fault.
I'm not suggesting it is.
He's just a boy.
I know.
12 years old.
I
If
know.
someone should be taking the blame, it should be the man, not the boy.
I know. I agree with you completely.
You're agreeing with me, but I'm sitting in the principal's office talking about my son, if you know what I'm saying. And you'll excuse me for bringing it up.
You're here because I'm concerned about Donald's welfare.
You think I'm not?
Of course you are.
Do you really think that priest gave Donald that wine to drink?
Yes, I do.
Then why did my son get kicked off the altar boys when it was the man who gave it to him?
The boy got caught. The man didn't.
Why didn't the priest get kicked off the priesthood?
He's a grown man, educated. He knows what's at stake. It's hard to pin someone like that down.
So you give my son the whole blame. No problem, my son getting blamed and punished. That's easy. You know why that is?
Perhaps you should you let me talk? I'm afraid you're getting upset.
Well, that's because that's the way it is, and that's the way it's been, sister. You're just finding it out, but that's the way it is, and that's the way it's been. You're not going up against a man in no robe and win, sister. He's got the position.
And he's got your son.
Let him have him then.
What?
It's just till June.
Do you know what you're saying?
No more about it than you.
I think that this man is creating or has already brought upon an improper relationship with your son.
I don't know.
I know I'm right.
Why you gotta know something like that for sure when you don't? Look, sister, you got some kind of righteous cause going with this priest, and now you want to drag my boy into it. My son doesn't need additional difficulties. Let him take the good and leave the rest when he leaves this place in June. He knows how to do that. I taught him how to do that.
What kind of mother are you?
Excuse me, sister, but you don't know enough about life to be saying a thing like that.
I know enough.
You know the rules maybe, but that doesn't cover it.
I know what I won't accept.
You accept what you've got to accept, and you work with it. That's what I know. Sorry to be so sharp, but you're in here in this room.
This man is in my school.
Well, he's got to be somewhere.
He's after the boys.
Well, maybe some of them boys want to get caught. Maybe what you don't know is maybe my son is that way. That's why his father beat him. Not the wine. He beat him for being what he is.
What are you telling me?
I'm his mother. I'm talking about the boy's nature now, not anything he's done. If you can't blame a child for being what God gave him to be.
Listen to me, Mrs. Muller. I'm only interested in actions. It's hopeless to discuss a child's possible inclination. I'm finding it difficult to address this man's deeds. This is not about what the boy may be. This is about what the man is. This is about the man.
But there's the boy's nature.
Let's leave that out of it.
Well, forget it then. You're the one forcing people to say these things out loud. Things float in the air and you try to let them go if you can. That's what I know. My boy came to the school because they were going to kill him in a public school. So we were lucky enough to get him in here for his last year. His father don't like him. He comes here, the kids don't like him. One man is good to him. This priest puts out a hand to the boy. Does the man have his reasons? Yes, everybody has their reasons. You have your reasons. But do I ask the man why he's good to my son? No. I don't care why. My son needs some man to care about him and see him through where he wants to go. And thank God, this educated man with some kindness wants to do just that.
This will not do.
It's just till June. Things aren't always black and white.
And sometimes they are. I will throw your son out of this school, Mrs. Muller. Make no mistake.
But why would you do that if nothing started with him?
Because I will stop this whatever way I must.
You hurt my son to get your way.
This won't end with your son. There will be others if there aren't already.
Then throw the priest out.
That's what I'm trying to do.
What do you want from me?
Nothing, as it turns out. I thought you might know something that would help me. But it seems you do not.
Please leave my son out of this. My husband would kill the boy over a thing like this.
I'll try.
I don't know, sister. You may think you're doing good, but the world's a hard place. I don't know if you and I are standing on the same side, but I'll be standing with my son and those who are good to my son. It'd be nice to